You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney prior to and during any question. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand your rights?
When the wolf is at your door, your running's over, that's for sure. He already knows all about you. Cut you down, no matter by you. Now you better walk the line. Real life, real
Warning. This episode of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast, may contain descriptions of acts of violence or that of a sexual nature and should be for people that are 18 years or older. Heed my warning, people. I do not get the facts of these cases off of the internet or from some television show. The facts I'm retelling you were presented to me by the victims of the crimes or the perpetrators who committed the crimes against the victims. My descriptions of the crime scenes, what I saw with my own two eyes. If you're going to get offended, please turn this podcast off now. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. As always, I'm your host, Woody Overton. And ho, 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 Merry Christmas, people. It's that time of year again, Monday, the day before Christmas Eve, the day before Santa Claus comes down your chimney or sneaks in your door or whatever he does, right? As long as he's not a burglar. And every year, I guess this is the 6th year, that every year I read the night before Christmas. And I'm going to play that story for y'all, for all lifers, and because I love you and I appreciate you, and I know you're all busy getting ready to do all the Christmas stuff, right? Hopefully you got all your shopping done. I haven't done any myself, and other than like Amazon and stuff. But I hadn't been to the mall. I'm sure most of you have, and I hope you children are getting ready for Santa Claus, old Saint Nick, to come down the chimney or sneak in your back door or whatever he's going to do and leave you some wonderful presents. Y'all, hashtag justice for Haley. So important. I hate to say it, but her murderversary is the day after Christmas. All right. And we're covering her story from start to finish. And so if you haven't, go and listen to them. There's a lot of audio, a lot of police cam audio and dash cam audio and interrogation room audio. Patreon and convicts, you will not only be getting this regular night before Christmas, as always, I read you the Cajun version of the night before Christmas. And I know Mama Karen Ortolano hates it because I butcher all the Cajun. I do my best Cajun accent on that, but you'll be getting that released also. But if you want to see all the videos and crime scene photographs and all that on Haley's case, and I want you to see it because I want you to see it and get mad about it, because I could tell you about it all day long. You can hear about it. You can hear these people talking about it, but when you get to see the facial expressions and the actual bad things that were done, like I hate, the crime scene stuff, the for lack of a better word, the gory stuff. But it's important, and it's important that you get mad and every episode I drop, you're going to get more pissed off because it's stupid. I mean, it's so stupid. But our thoughts and prayers go out to Miss Barbara and Stella and Tyler and everybody that knew and loved Haley. It's a horrible day for them. It's a horrible time of the year for them. But, if you want to give them a gift that keeps on giving, hashtag Justice for Taylor on all your comments and share the story. It's important because in the end, we want to get a murder indictment and we can't do it without your help. So that being said, and Patreon Convicts, y'all, if you want to become one, that's great. There's, I think, another 25 original episodes of Real Life, Real Crime, the old cop stories, plus all the things that have never been released to the public, all the case files on Courtney Coco's case and Mary Pouchot's case and different ones that we've worked, and just everything that's locked up. And Patreon Convicts are getting commercial-free early releases every day. We do 6 shows a week. And I know this is the time of year where our episodes are just chock full of commercials. That's the business side. But if you're a Patreon Convict, not only do you get access to all that bonus material, you get commercial-free early releases on every single episode. So if you want to become a patron, go to patreon.com and type in Real Life, Real Crime, or you can go download the Real Life, Real Crime Community app from the App Store for free and subscribe through there and become what I call them convicts affectionately. Thank y'all so much for your support. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. If you can't be a Patreon convict, if you don't want to, I love you anyway. I truly do. And look, I get stopped all the time in public. You know, I could be in the gas station or whatever, and people come up and are like, "Oh, we don't want to bother you, but, you know, come and take a picture with you or what have you, or will you sign some, whatever it is." Or they just want to say hi. And a lot of people, I see them looking at me, but they don't want to come up and say stuff. And one person told me, "Well, I didn't want to bother you." Well, you know what? You're not bothering me. Shit, I love to meet lifers. That makes my day. So y'all, if you see me out and about, don't hesitate to come up and introduce yourself. And I'm going to talk to you just like I talk to you now. And you'll get to feel my love, right? So I remember being a little boy and my mama thought she was sharp. And I kind of figured out the Santa Claus thing. And back then we had the Sears and Roebuck is where we ordered all our toys from. And man, I would just OCD on it. You know, the big book when it came out, and I would circle the ones that I wanted. And of course I didn't get everything, but they didn't have Amazon. They didn't have delivery services and shit like that back then. You had to go to Sears and Roebuck and pick up the physical store and pick up the presents and the boxes and stuff. But my mom would bring it home and she would hide them in her closet and my dad's closet and stuff. And when they weren't home, I'd go sneak in and I'd get the numbers off the box and I'd look it up in the catalog to see what I got. And then on Christmas Eve night, we'd always go to a lady. She wasn't my mom's sister, but we called her Aunt Sydney. We go to her house and have red beans and rice, which I'm still famous for cooking to this day. I think I kind of took over her recipe. She's long since been deceased. She loved Christmas so much. Her whole house was decorated for Christmas, like 1 million Santa Clauses and Christmas tree and everything. And they stayed up year around. She never took them down. Hey ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement. It's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC. But we'd go there on Christmas Eve and we'd have to go to church before we went there. And then we'd sit around the whole family and Miss Francine, who was like my grandmother that I never knew. And we'd start from the youngest and then go to the oldest, and you get to open one present at a time, right? And everybody got to watch you open your present, and it would go all the way around the room. And of course, as I got older, the alcoholic beverages were flowing and just really good times. And then driving back from Baton Rouge to Clinton, I remember the Demco building off of Plank Road, the big tower. They would, it's a giant tower, like 150-foot tower. They had the big strands coming off of it, and they would decorate it with Christmas lights. And I remember from the time I was a little boy they probably still do it today. I don't know. I haven't been that away. And then getting back to my house in the younger years, of course, the kids had to go to bed because Santa Claus is coming, right? Well, the adults got to stay up and drink, and the adults probably helped, put Santa stuff together and get everything straight. But I had a time schedule. I get a notebook, and I'm talking about, I'm young. I'm like 9, 10. I'd get a notebook and write like at 10:05, I'm going to peek down the stairs. 10:30, I'm going to peek down the stairs and until the lights went out. And then I would sneak down and amidst the glow of the Christmas tree, and I'd find my pile of presents and shit. Never got any sleep, and I always woke my parents up, who were probably still drunk. Wait till like 5 o'clock in the morning to wake them up, and everybody would get up and open the presents, and it's Christmas morning. There's so much fucking paper everywhere, and some part of a toy always got lost in the trash pile, getting thrown out, and then probably go back and take a nap, and Dad would have the turkey on and all that good stuff, and eat lunch at 2 o'clock. Who does that? I don't understand why. Only time of the year it's guaranteed you're going to have lunch 2 o'clock or after is a holiday in my family. But good times. A lot of people have passed on, and we love y'all. And then we have a lot of new additions to our families. And this is my sweet baby Ember Ray's, my first granddaughter's very first time Santa Claus is going to be coming tomorrow night, right? And we love you, sweet baby. I don't know, it's Jesus' birthday in my world, and that's the most important thing. But whatever you believe in, Hanukkah or whatever, it doesn't matter to me. It's the spirit of the season, and I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. But time I can remember as a child, my mom would read the night before Christmas to us, and on Christmas Eve. So in continuing that tradition, I want to share it with all my extended family, my lifers. And so I'm going to read the regular version for you now. And Patronic Convicts, you will get, in addition to the story, you will get the Cajun Night Before Christmas. So I'm going to read it for you now. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas by Clement Clark Moore. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas would soon be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the roof there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutter and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eye should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver, so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes how they twinkled, his dimples how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, as he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." The end.
Well, there you have it. The night before Christmas, right? Another year gone by, and Merry Christmas to all of y'all. We love and appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you have the best Christmas of all time. And I'm Woody Overton, your host of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. Until next time, or ever, don't let me catch you down on Murder Bayou. Peace. Merry Christmas.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney prior to and during any question. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand your rights?
When the wolf is at your door, you running's over, that's for sure. He already knows all about you. Cut you down no matter by you. Now you better walk the line. Real life, real crime.
With the summer sizzle starting to fizzle, cooler heads are looking to lock in a wellness routine fit for the fall and beyond. Lucky for you, Ritual's high standards don't drop with the temperature. Fully committed to traceable science and sourcing, Ritual is shaking up the supplement industry with high-quality ingredients and scientifically developed formulas. With them, you know what you're taking, where it comes from, and why it's important. They've got every base covered, from their clinically backed Women's 18-plus multivitamin to groundbreaking options like stress relief and sleep melatonin, which both use first-of-its-kind BioSeries technology designed to optimize formula delivery. And right now, for a limited time, get up to 40% off your first month at ritual.com/podcast.
Need parts now? O'ReillyAuto.com offers in-store pickup, same-day home delivery, or next-day home shipping. Get more parts your way at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Oh, oh,